relatively flexible player. We just need to see him be that strong backbone for them.
Yep, that's definitely the thing that you need on the squad. It's everybody has got to work together and pull that weight as best as they can. Now, let's see which map we're going to be playing on for the series. We've had Cafe already twice today, which will hopefully mean that we don't get it again. But, you know, this is APAC. We had a pretty much entire villa day. We're going to get Consulate. There it is. Talon banning out Clubhouse. Well, Dev, I see you're very excited. How come?
Yeah, I'm just getting flashbacks to QConfirm versus Giants, where they got destroyed 7-1. This is a map where we've seen both of these teams lose a lot. So they've got that in common at least, right? Yeah, I don't know. This is... I don't have a lot of confidence in either team, but that kind of just by default then says that, well, it's going to be even, right? I don't know. How do you add that up?
I mean, of late, Talon, they've lost it to Fnatic, but you know that sort of at this point in different echelons. They've won against a team called Whale, or Blue Whale, I guess, another Korean team, and Scars as well in the Korean Open of the summer. So they've not done terribly on it. They just don't have a particularly plentiful track record on it. We don't have loads of games to go by. I mean, you look at in the last few months when it's come to games with Talon, it's been banned by their opponent 14 times. So they don't get the opportunity to play it.
All right, you know what? Let's see how it all boils down here on Consulate between Talon and QConfirm. So why don't we just toss it over to our casters. Vulcan and Hat, please take it away.
Thank you, Milosh. This time I'm not muted, just triple check, just to be sure, just to make sure I could actually take it. We're going up into a very important match because both these teams are also dingling about the relegation zone, and well, you don't really want to be going into those extra matches if you can avoid it. So let's see which of these teams will be walking away with the win here today to make sure that they have a little bit of a better exit position going up to those last day that is going to be happening on a Wednesday, Thursday.
You okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Don't worry. It's
Thursday. Yeah.
All right, we're here. Yeah,
we're here. We're there. We're ready. We're good to go. Hey, game 3, first game of the first cast. I've been on the desk twice in a row now. I'm excited to start shouting with you, my good friend Hap, and it's over Consulate. We're not on Cafe for the first time today.
No, we're not on you know, it's good to have some change every now and then. It feels like every single day we're swapping maps. Like one day it's Oregon, then it's Cafe, then it's Club. You know, like we're just passing them all in these last couple of play days.
Flavor of the day. Map of the day. Well, you know.
Anyway, map of the day. Indeed. Nomad gets banned. Valkyrie potentially next, often as a result of a Nomad ban. As, of course, those cancel each other out. Valkyrie gives extra information, which allows the jump outs. Nomad would then be there to stop it. And thus you often see those two removed to give a little bit of extra freedom to either team playing wherever they want.
I think these are standard bans outside of the Ying. The Ying is one where it's a particular kind of pointed ban, I'm going to say, against the playstyle that QConfirm have often ran. But for me, Pulse, Valk, Nomad, all very fair attributable bans. Here, you don't massively need to remove hard destruction. There's only really, you know, one site where it's often seen as vital for a lot of teams, which is obviously down in Cafe. There's other locations where it's good to have a bit of hard destruction, especially if you root out something like mirrors, if you're trying to push piano room and they've got themselves locked into the bathroom, or if you're looking at trying to push the CEO console on the top and you want to get that corner wall hold. Either way, at the top of lobby, there's a couple of places, but it's information. This is an information game, an information location, and a roam location. I always say it, always love it, and always excited to see it when attacking teams take their precedence here, because it can feed itself so well to a defense that is mobile, that likes to drop around the map, likes to keep themselves mobile, and likes to keep themselves aggressive, and to attackers that do the same, attackers that are happy to dig in and root out anything that seems to be causing them problems.
Waiting for the first round to start off. Here we have it. Top floor chosen by Talon. Hatch will be reinforced. Often Maru might be able to come through there, go for a quick plant. It's not happening as many times anymore as it used to. It's still good to see that Talon is looking to make sure that will have no play, will have no opportunity of succeeding into a map like this. So Mew Gemma being deployed will be catching off the hatch, and with the off chance that Excaliburs will be used from below, they wouldn't be exploding either. So they're really thinking it through here.
Now, they've obviously got themselves Soldier on Melusi. Soldier is a player who, for a lot of eyes, has been a big force when he shows up. I don't think he had the best play day the other day, though, unfortunately, and it led to Talon suffering. They've had some of their worst play and worst split and worst moments recently, and I'm kind of curious to see if they can lean themselves better to a map like Consular, a map where I've already talked about his play before in Theme Park, where he got a little bit stuck in the masonry and a little bit caught up in the action of the building itself. Here, there's the chance of mobility, the chance of aggression, as I said before, and I think he's a player who could spark himself pretty well. At the same time, obviously, we've all seen the performance of some of the QConfirm players there. For me, the team that digs themselves into the objective more than most others. Lycolis is definitely the start of this.
We have it. Flank is being watched. Producer Boom all the way from spawn. Swapping between the projector windows and the front door. Maybe someone will come from either way. So far, no pressure yet for Talon onto those walls as there comes the first spot. Soldier gets spotted out. We'll have to fall back a little bit towards the long desk. All the way back into the actual office. That will give a lot of free space here for QConfirm to take admin and to also have the opportunity to contest the long desk, because no one is active in that area right now.
No, and it's going to just allow them, as you said, to get in, put themselves against it and see what pressure they can apply. One of the places where you can dig yourself in on the hard destruction if you need to. They've bought Thermite, which is rarer for this top floor. There's not a lot of places you get that immediate access. And I guess, you know, they've obviously blown the angle here to get themselves the sightlines all the way across. But otherwise now it's just in terms of a gunfight. They've got to play this the way that they've already got it cleared. And with the information coming from underneath and a little bit of a breakthrough there, they're going to see if they can pop anything from, well, underneath. Hajime hits the Ash, tries to hit Labyrinth, who digs themselves into a corner. Still just has guns. And the bulletproof was the piece of utility in pocket. Now C4, just guns.
Trying to hold off right behind the chair as the desk got blown up from underneath. Doesn't have that much cover. The bomb chassis and the chair to work with. Lycolis, the flashbangs are going to be coming in, and that means that the challenge will be here as well. They need to find the first pick, and that's exactly what happens. Lycolis able to pick up on that one, and that gives them an opportunity to move through. Now the A side is open. They just need to worry about the player near the back from that is Soldier, and Lycolis needs to not die from the smoke as he does exactly that. BD able to pick him up eventually with the actual SMG-11. Healthcare going quite slow as well. There's probably a Banshee making sure that they're not able to move through in full speed. And it is Talon that bring it back to their advantage. Indeed, they have it. That is that one Banshee that made sure that, Lycolis died from that smoke, and Healthcare almost did as well. And he's all alone now in a 1v4 situation. Gets taken out, and Talon take the first round.
What a
good
combination.
place, Banshee there.
Yeah, what a combination of utility. It was how it boiled down. We saw the slow and steady attempted crawl to safety from the man in the smoke, and it just, well, unfortunately led to a disaster. He couldn't quite get himself into where he wanted to put the diffuser down. As we said before, this is a player that always tries to get that diffuser down.
Try to continue. Ooh, okay. Thinker coming out now. Now this is... it might be 6 picks out, of course. But then again, it's QConfirm, so I wouldn't be surprised if it will actually stick in. Alright, it's going out. I was going to say, if there's another smoke on the board, you might not really want to be picking up on that Finca, because of course you take twice as much damage from those smoke canisters for only like a 50% decrease of the negative effects. I talked with Reaper, by the way, the other day, after we had that whole Ying discussion. Yeah. And he's like, it indeed removes Yings to the attackers themselves for 50% as well. So it's multiple negative effects that get cancelled out.
Do you know what else removes Ying?
The ban that we had?
The ban that we had.
Yeah, that does remove Ying.
Okay.
But I was just going to say, probably the Finger Boost would also be helping you with the Banshee. That was kind of the point I was trying to make. It might not have came out as well as I wanted it to. But.
No, I just wanted to make a joke about Ying being banned. But I get what you're saying. I guess it's a good point. Do we know if it directly impacts Melusi? Because obviously we know it's a cooldown on flash effects. We know it's a cooldown on stun effects. I guess it's whether...
It's also barbed wire.
Okay, maybe that's how the translation. If anyone has tested this... Reaper?
As far as I know, it's any negative effect.
Any negative
Okay,
effect.
I'm going to send him another DM right now.
Yeah,
We'll get back to this in just a little
bit.
bit.
If it is, because obviously it's something where it potentially... you know, when it was first advertised, the effect, the Finker was labeled as Defender Gadget. Or... yeah, it was Defender Gadgets, so it wasn't even labeled originally as the flash effects. Then they kind of discovered and added and all of that. Then Candela's obviously too came under that. But I guess it's how wide that threshold goes and how these newer gadgets, whether they're kind of inducted into that hole, that corridor of this is Finker-proof. Either way, as you said, it's a very good possibility for what is a tight-paced type corridor map.
You have it. Maestro Ken will be not taken out. Actually, he got... Oh, he tried to bait it with one of the concussions, but then there was another Magna being deployed, and now the ADSs are going off. So they're not having an opportunity yet to clear out on that Evil Eye. And as I say, that tomorrow we're able to get the kill down onto Healthcare from the admin window. Somehow able to land the shot there. Hajime now on the balcony, contemplating what to do. Am I going to jump in and try and hunt him, or am I staying put and, well, just wait until the perfect time to strike is there? As tomorrow opens up on a door that will indicate another run out soon.
Yeah, and obviously with the Nomad off the board, this is what it can facilitate. You're going to have to be much more attentive, and so far we haven't really seen any intense lockdown. Oh, goodbye. The man in the bathroom gets shut down. Labyrinth swings a little bit too wide and gets caught out and caught in between the eyes. Lycolis looking for the open door. Here's Tomorrow with the swing, and there's the Lion charge. Goes a little bit too late. Discovered anyway. Doesn't really matter. It's Producer Boom that actually finds PMW, and Lycolis finds the floor. The diffuser's being put down too. The cover is on the Jaeger on his return approach, but Soldier's there to blow someone up. Roldini looks for the cover, and Hajime is the one that finds it. Round the corner, and there goes another one. Tomorrow tries to find one more. Soldier is the one that locks it down. Hajime drops from the skies, puts us into a 1 versus 1. The Jaeger, who was off site and took his way back round underneath Spiral, is waiting for the call, but with 40 seconds, Hajime has a lot of time to get this diffuser and get himself into a more feasible location.
Puts himself into the position to go for that plans, but he has no clue what tomorrow is. The spots are there. They know where he is. Of course, no ping coming in now. Timer runs out. The diffuser has been planted. He managed to find himself a way out. Tomorrow just missed the timing to go for that peek, but knows exactly where he will be. It has to be on that right-hand side of the door and looking for a window that might be open to jump out from, but nothing is prepped, and that means he needs to go for the peek here. He's afraid of a potential drone. Takes that one out. That means that all the information that might have been there on Hajime's side will be removed. The swing comes in, the pre-fire as well, and he manages to land it. It is Tomorrow that gets the clutch down, a triple kill on him. And is the diffuser to be diffused as well. Talon to take the second round in a row right here. I tried to get round and row into one word. That didn't really go well.
I've already accidentally combined so many words this morning. I need a little bit more sugar in me to keep up with the pace of Consular. Keep up with the pace of these teams. Consular, a map. It's kind of fitting when the round ends outside the map. It's a more common occurrence than on a lot of other places and locations, and it's one of the reasons I love it, especially in a region like this. Lion had a little bit of a showing in the previous round, a little bit of an appearance. They're not going to put the value of 6th pick on him this time round and just kind of play it as is and see if they can get themselves, I guess, a bit more control, because to be fair, the player that it could have caught was Tomorrow, but Tomorrow caught the Lion and then caught 2 other people. So, you know, are they going to try and apply it in a slightly different way? They did obviously lose the Jackal early on. They lost the Jackal before they could even really begin to get a control of the Jaeger. So I'm guessing what I'm looking for here is the threading. How they're going to try and introduce their operators and their attack into a map.
All right. Checking what operators are being brought. I see that clash. I see the Melusi. That is 2 operators that can slow you down. Still no Finker coming out. We still do not have the definite answer as well. We do see that line. We see the hatches being reinforced in the back. Good spot here from medics. That means that a push from the back is very unlikely. Of course, they do have that secondary heart breach gadget available on the line, so there is an opportunity they could go for it. Otherwise, it will be a garage push to come through. So there's plenty of options here. Really just depends on what QConfirm wants to do and how they want to approach this.
The swap over to the Clash is a player that might be able to give them some burst here. In a way, the way a lot of teams view this, and I too, is this wall is sometimes expected to fall. It isn't the die-hard fight with the current burn of utilities. Obviously, there's a lot of hard destruction. As I said, this is the most important place for this to be run and utilized. So teams expect it to fall in a similar way. As we saw, you expect CCTV wall to fall on Clubhouse. It's the second part that makes it a challenge now. Keeping an eye and keeping it under control. You can be a little bit more passive with it. Put a Malucio on the black car and pull yourself back with Maestro cams or Echo if he is ever allowed back into the board. Here, Clash. They've thrown her in a position. If someone starts applying pressure from white stairs, she can pull herself back around white van and get some cover there. But she can just mean that nobody gets close. For now. If they do, they have the fear of being swung from either side. It's something that we already know this team is more than capable of.
It's definitely more than capable of, as a quick roam clear is here from QConfirm. You hear an S-charge going off somewhere in the back as well as Hajime creates himself an opening, able to look down the Visa stairs, potentially pick up one of the players if they want to go for a roam late on. And it's one of those angles you probably wouldn't expect it to be. So you might going to be able to pick up a unsuspecting player of Talon like that. That's unlucky healthcare. Just wanted to spot out the feet, you know, use the Inox for a scan. But then the footsteps, you know, they were outdated. Meaning that no scan was able to be gained from it. And right now we see a very heavy garage hold actually. With the Clash being right next to the breach. There's an opportunity to go for the back, I believe. And it looks like they might be going for that. As the secondary hard breach already has been used. Okay, has been used in the circle desk. So they're looking to potentially be dropping in from two sides here. Put some pressure from the garage. Maybe come down the back of the Visa stairs and then have one dropping in from the hatch. But it would require an insane amount of coordination right here.
As I said, as soon as there was pressure put on the Clash, she tried to retreat, but with Piano under the control, it was a very easy pickup by Roldini. BD puts back one, and there's another one for Roldini. The trade comes through tomorrow. The hero of the last round is off the board earlier, with only 30 seconds, though how early really is it? Eyes on the hatch. They're concerned about this back push around Visa stairs as they start to hear some close down and coordination, but it's the man from the opener that actually gets them. Hajime pushes in via the white van. There's a swing on either side, but they're coming in behind you too. Labyrinth has your cover, but the diffuser has the floor. It's a 3 versus 1 post plant. And there's only so much zapping as ankles will do. They have vertical, they have the breach, they have a lot of an idea of where you were, Maestro, and it's down to you to try and pull them back. The first, well, you take them on yellow stairs. The second takes you back. Cafe is the site of the meal, and QConfirm find the round.
Fine around indeed. They managed to get the first attack on the board right here. They got really close the last time around, but then the clutch came in from Talons tomorrow. But then they managed to at least get one down. And it is Consulate. It is a map where you would like to get at least 2 and, well, preferably even 3 rounds onto your attack if you want to be going into a good second half. So QConfirm, they are starting up on that trend. They're looking to make it happen here. They need 1, maybe 2 more rounds to put themselves in a good position. Luckily for them, there's still 3 more rounds to do it. So there's plenty of time, especially if they make their attacks happen like they just did.
2-1, the ability to get around it. Obviously, it could have very much easily been, well, still 2-1, but 2-1 in their favor. Had a trade gone the other way between the Ashe and the Jaeger, the perpetual battle that sees us throughout all the generations of Siege. Instead, well, we find ourselves here. Talon, they believe they can fix the problems caused here. Instead of heading back to the top floor, they're actually going to try and play this again. I guess either way, they'll potentially be back here again anyway, so why not lock it down? Why not see if you can make something more fruitful happen? Same lineup, it's generally the same atmosphere and attitude. Same result?
That's the question. Of course, they wouldn't be picking it again if Talon didn't have the faith that they were going to be able to win it here. So probably they're going to be changing up 1 or 2 things. Right now they know where the pressure mainly will be coming from, so they might be able to, you know, readjust some of their utility that way. They might also start putting up a roamer. Just one person off the side, able to wreak some havoc, able to put up some damages early on, and that's exactly what's happening. Tomorrow is playing upstairs. The question is, will he stay there for long? Will he try and fight till his death, or will he fall back and moved back to the side within like a minute.
Now then, as they try and get their way in and dig first, a different strategy. More aggro on the wall here with Soldier taking the talons and the claws and trying to dig them into the wall itself, and PMW keeping the eye onto yellow stairs, making sure nobody can swing round, swing in, and stop the claws as easily as they otherwise might. They still have generally handed over the second story. Tomorrow is slowly creeping his way back round as the drones filter over the top floor and the entrance comes from admin, but last time we saw things start to fall apart when Piano fell into the hands of QConfirm. I'm wondering if the Rome game of tomorrow is going to try and strike back and at least pull something out of the approach before it turns into an unfortunate result for them.
Charge being used to try and get some control of Piano. Hoping to find an angle onto the bathroom as well, but no one will be playing around that area. And in the meantime, we have 90 seconds left. As QConfirm are still looking to find themselves an entry. Haven't really opened up too much yet. Producer Boom now will be moving over with that secondary heart breach gadget to open up one of those hatches again. Healthcare is still busy on the top floor, just opening up all these angles for the defenders to worry about, just basically denying them from potentially rotating out again. As that happens, it is surely soon going to be the execute we have been waiting for.
Well, a slight mute bug, if you hadn't already guessed it. Hopefully this is fixed sooner rather than later, but it's something that doesn't impact the players if you're unaware this is your first time hearing it. Also, the chances of us getting it fixed, it's down to the magic of medics, so fingers crossed. Either way, the magic of PMW was trying to enthrall those that are pushing onto yellow, is able to stay alive much longer and has a bit of cover before, but as I said, it started to fall here. The moment Piano fell into the hands of the attackers, it generally all started to collapse above them, around them, and through them. Now they have the wall open, now they have PMW separated from Soldier, and now they have a lion charge going off. They're going to try and pinch and pincher at the same time, but it does also stop the approach of the roaming Jaeger. Tomorrow, slow and steadily, is still making his way round, but he hasn't quite found himself into the firefight just yet, and neither have they found their way into the site here too. They're trying to creep their way through. PMW is stopping. Every bit of utility is popped towards it, but look at the bodies screaming down the stairs now. They're putting all the pressure on. Hajime dropped on the back like Collis drops Soldier, and it's a very important place to put the diffuser down. Class is trying to get the intel and the beat and the read. They fire over the top of the man behind the black car, but he gets out. He gets free. He doesn't quite get clear though. There is Maestro, and there is suddenly a 5 versus 1 there. Is the run out of the Jaeger that spent a long time creeping and the perfect time to strike. Around goes Talon's way, and tomorrow, I believe, now sits on an 8-1.
Very quick turnaround here. As soon as the execute came down, you saw Talon trying to reflood the site, take it back. He used that clash to guard off the yellow stairs, and luckily the cover was there, because otherwise the planted a termite was going to be able to take down that clash. But at that moment in time, so many losses already happened on the likes of QConfirm that Talon was almost guaranteed to pick up that round, and that's exactly what they did. Tomorrow just ran out, managed to, well, find out the location of the last remaining player due to the fact he was being shot at. Just retraced the tracers and took him out himself. That leaves it a 3-on-1 situation now. The 6-pick comes in, the Wamai gets picked out, the Meister will be picked in, and the Hibana will also be potentially removed. No, looks like it will stay. All right. So not really a big change coming through from QConfirm here, except for the fact that we do not see the Lion now. We do see the Hibana, which has the opportunity to open up 3 hatches instead.
Well, we got a little bit of other audio back, and we got ourselves set up here on the top floor. Now, obviously, this fell to the way of, well, we see her putting the Melusi charge down and the smoke canisters that popped all around them. The perfect combination that cooked the attempt at the plant, and that is sometimes, I guess, the fault of QConfirm. Excuse me, if you are looking at the moment where I choke on my water and try and explain the fact that when a team is so adamant, so determined to put the diffuser down, they become somewhat predictable at times, and predictability can be punished in this game. If you're a step ahead and a little bit aggro in this situation, if you know where they're going to play and how desperately they're going to play it, you can punish that. And you can punish that with utility that you've pre-placed. That is the way, and that is how they look towards a lot of teams like this, and that is how Talon have built some success on these rounds. It's up to QConfirm. Sure, you want to throw this diffuser down, but you got to get a bit creative with it if you don't want to fall to the same traps and tricks that they've obviously well rehearsed.
Trying to gain some early information here. Soldier creeps all the way to the basement. We're in that top floor hold right now. Talon have a 2-round lead and are looking to potentially expand on that. As QConfirm are under attack. They need to get one more round in at least, and well, let's say 2 for good measure. A good drone, however, there, right on top of the soda machine. Not Yoda. Wait, who actually confused that? Was that James that got confused from Yoda?
I don't know. I think I missed the Yoda conversation.
About yellow soda, which is where PMW is heading right now. So, anyway, now we're in behind the table, behind the desk again. Shortly will be blown up potentially by an Ash charge to go in either from the window or from below. It's often happening because it's just such a big piece of cover which you can easily remove. And if you see Hajime, he's creeping already towards the likes of that lobby, but Soldier is out there as well. Soldier is there to try and make sure that that table will stay intact. That's his sole job right there. He needs to take out that Ash, and if they do, the cover will stay intact. And as he is still here, about right, he hasn't been spotted yet, and this he is going to pick up the Ash right here, but he gives away his shoots, but he misses. It gives the opportunity for Hajime to reconvene, reposition himself. As 2 kills come in on the likes of
Now then, as they try and push their way through a very close corner door here, they're going to just lock themselves in and put them into a 5 versus 2 yet again. We're seeing the bodies of QConfirm struggle to find their way through a 4 versus 2. 1 balance and 1 body back is the equation that they're trying to make happen, but with 40 seconds, they're slowly losing the time, and the separation that they have on this door is all that they can really dig into. The diffuser's still around. At least they have that burster, but another 10 seconds gone, and they're still no closer to getting the solid lock in. Oh, now they are. There goes the man in the corner. There goes the default spot, and there goes the diffuser. Quick, up, back out and get it, and bring it back in. There's a bit of an eye out of the sky now, and it's a 3 versus 2. They're trying to find the close angles, and Producer Boom just goes big and explodes through 2 more. There's a double kill, and there's suddenly an almost clutch of 1 versus 1, and no time left. The diffuser is dropped. They have to try and run for the kill. The chase is coming through. Oh no, barbed wire and Malusi.
wanted to go back up, maybe to go for a plan. Maybe he thought the defender went back up, but he wasn't able to get that win out there. It got really close. Producer Boom able to absolutely explode onto the side, get a couple of kills, but it's not enough. QConfirm wasn't able to win the round, and I just got confirmation, by the way, from our good friend Reaper. It does. It's a 50% reduction again on the effect that the Malusi has. So I think definitely would be helping you when you're getting slowed down a lot. The question is, however, because we're referring back to round 1 here, if a smoke is being popped, you also take 50% more damage. So
there you go.
You know, it's basically a win and a loss.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things. I was excited to know how it would balance against the Malusi, because I just hadn't really thought about it. But yeah, it's true. And it is true. It's been proven by the man, the myth, the big brain legend that he is. Reaper, thank you very much. But at the same time, oh yeah, there was this smoke canister there. Yeah, that's the counter to Finker. That's the problem. You die at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Last round of this first half. Talon is building up a commanding lead. And if QConfirm is not going to be able to find an extra round, then we might find ourselves in a difficult situation for them, where Talon is going to be able to pull in a very convincing win if they manage to keep up this current pace. Because so far they've managed to shut down QConfirm many times, and even though when they came in with hero plays, it just wasn't enough. There was always that one member still standing, able to shut them down in the end. That must really hurt QConfirm right now.
4-1 though, the split's looking pretty good for Talon. As we said, this is a good map for attackers, a good place for them to be able to aggress these bans. They do limit some of what's capable on the defense's run-up, but that hasn't really stopped Talon. We seem to generally have a position and an answer for everything. Though this time round, as we said, it did come down a little bit to the wire. They couldn't quite get themselves the solid lock-in they wanted. It was a lot of heroics that happened in Antechamber that led to the swing of Tomorrow. Oh no! Tomorrow, the hero of before, has dropped very early. This time they paid acute attention to the man on the roam, and they're able to lock him out at the very early stages. 2 minutes left, and the hero clutch roamer is gone. A 5 versus 4 as you're pushing onto a site that is quite open doors previously to you. Let's see if this leads to more success.
But drone being tossed in, hoping to get quick admin control. Healthcare in the meantime, and Visa will be trying to take control of said room. Gives us a multi-dimensional attack that they're hoping to set up. All the QConfirm members split out across multiple sites as Producer Boom is looking to be entering from the bench side. Now actually we'll be using the X-Kairos to open up, but they're all going to get shot, and that means none of them will stay on, and he just deploys all 3 of the X-Kairos sets with not a single one probably detonating as BMW takes them all down. Tomorrow goes down, Hajime goes down, BD is in a DBNO state, but of course it can be recovered. But all X-Kairos just have been used, and the bathroom will remain closed, and that is a major impact here that will be coming back to QConfirm.
Now, as they're concerned about the angles and obviously the location that they find themselves in, they've got to pick up the pace here to get control of this second story. They are a little bit slow to the punch so far, but there's a lot left to do, and they've started doing it. BD gets dropped as they put their eyes towards Antechamber, the place where we had a couple of swings out. They're able to take care of Soldier 2. Now it is PMW. He was attempting to go huge here, swinging around to try and retake the vertical as Labyrinth is left inside Anti all alone. The pings are coming pretty consistently, but with 30 seconds, they're taking their time to drone. They're taking their time to get in and get attentive. At 3-speed, playing with the idea of a run out is a dangerous game, but there's an even more dangerous peek on the doors, peek on QConfirm, and peek yourself, losing your second round.
All right. QConfirm able to pick up their second round. They needed to do. They need to get there actually and to keep themselves on fighting to the defense. Now, towards a, well, towards an attack side favor. It's getting a bit more balanced compared to what it used to be. And that means that a 4-2 is of course not ideal if you're on your, if you were on your attack. Only getting 2 rounds in. And that gives Talon a big opportunity now. Talon has the opportunity to pull in those 3 rounds and basically secure the win. That's all they need to do, just 3 rounds. Plus QConfirm, they need to get in 5 or 4 if they're pushing for an overtime situation. So there's a lot to do here for QConfirm. Then there is for Talon, which is of course logical looking at the scoreline, but something to keep in mind how important that first half can be.
And the town of the half as well, as I said before, these are 2 teams that are quite good on their attack, and for me these are still bands that play okay into the attack here. They know how they want to put pressure on, they know how they want to try and break through this site, and they're opening up on what is a hyper-aggressive potential site too. Lobby, where we've seen it have a bit of a mixed and myriad history over the past couple of rounds, is something where I guess QConfirm, they've just had success, they want to double down, go all in, and see if they can make bank. Now they've got their extension upstairs. They were quite slow and steady on their pick, and I guess for all the compliments I can pay towards the teams that have been playing Talon, sometimes they kind of underestimate how important it is to get there clear and how important it is to keep their eyes across all of the board and get themselves in on the diffuser. If you're looking at QConfirm on one end of a scale and how they've focused and laser sighted themselves towards getting the kit down, in a weird way this is the opposite side of Talon.
There's an opposite side. Makola's probably going to be the first one to be entering a gunfight here to get a Hajime as the pressure seems to be going down from the admin side. There's quite a couple of people repelled up there. There's heavy droning going on. They're trying to find out where everybody is, where everybody's active on. It seems like BD is the first one to enter. It's the hard breach to take the risk. Fires coming down, 2-3 members all crawling across right there, but yet no one will be taking any damage. And as I say, that producer boom actually will be quite low, up about 10 worth of HP, and that's a reset coming in right here with the Meister Cam. Quite a nifty one. And it might give them, you know, that extra little bit. Let's say an explosion goes off underneath him or near him. You might be able to survive that. It's not going to be enough for bullets. It is going to be just purely in case an S-charge or an impact or maybe even a flashbang bouncing off his head.
It's a little bit of extra blood. In the spirit of Spooky Month and Halloween, he's Frankensteined him some extra blood, but hasn't really patched up the wound, and it's only really going to drip, and see if he can carry his slightly steadily lifeless body towards the end of this round. The pops start to come through, and they clear themselves an angle to be able to get rid of that shield. That is New Thatcher. That is what it can do. It drops a lot and gives them the coordination and control that they need. Now, that's going to make it a little bit tougher to hold in on the door, but with nobody else really being shut down, Tomorrow's found the ability to just creep all the way in, and there's control falling to the top floor, and there's a trade, though. Healthcare is able to take care of Soldier and make sure that they can keep eyes in the sky, locked down firmly towards the door. Concerned about the rotation, but the windows are actually going to be the game away as BMW has found a firefight up there.
One man down on either side. Producer Boom still low on HP, but the time is running out. 45 seconds. There's still Evil Eyes deployed. They'll have to be taken care of. A drone as well. They know where Hajime is. As the Evil Eyes trying to take care of these drones. The ADSs will have to be wasted, however, and tomorrow we'll be able to put down Producer Boom into the ground. Here comes an aggressive peek. It's BD trying to move through. That EMP is going to be making sure that the Melusids and the ADSs will not be working, and the plant will go down now. Healthcare tries to go in. We'll be able to pick up a beautiful kill. Rodini then follows up with one as well. We'll be stopping off this plant. BD now needs to go aggressive to try and find something back because his teammate is still above. BMW needs to take down one of these players if they want to have an opportunity to get this round down. The plant will come down nonetheless, and here comes the stun, and the pings coming in from the Maestro Chem will not be able to get the kill, and the plant will be restarted. The question is, where is the cover? Will it be there? It doesn't seem to be. QConfirm managed to get the down into the termite, and that is the round one for QConfirm. They're managing to start their comeback off strong, but it almost went out the other way.
I like coming back to the sound of the mute, Jammer. Reminds me. Brings me back down to earth. Brings me back down to the fact I think we're about to see a heck of a game all the way till the end. Now, obviously, we've seen success stories from both teams. BMW 0-5 in terms of the assists. He's really getting himself in positions to help, but just in that situation, I guess he was the cover there, and unfortunately, the cover wasn't there. And it led to a little bit of a misstep. And I guess that's one of the things I was talking about with Talon, is sometimes they don't quite have that lockdown that QConfirm does when it comes time to plant, because they build everything around the plant, QConfirm, and Talon build everything around gun skill. They build a lot around the skill of players like Tomorrow, players like Soldier, and when it comes down to these nail-biting situations, it seems QC just have a little bit more cool after the Q, and it leads to, well, those kind of trades.
4 now coming out for QConfirm. Managed to win that lobby hold. Seeing a mirror window being deployed here onto the admin side of things. It's a really long time since I've seen this in competitive play. Might be a year or two, actually. Because, you know, we had a whole full year where Mira got banned the entire time. Yeah. Now she's coming out more and more, but not really used that much in Consulate. And if she gets used, it's mostly downstairs in the basement. So it's a long time since I've seen that mirror window. Interesting to see where the second one will go, though.
I think that's it as well. Is sometimes you'll see when they have these eyes, one towards admin. So just off the side of printer, if you set yourself in there, you can open the rotation round towards the top of Visa Stairs. There it is. This one. And they might have a rotation round towards the top of Visa Stairs as well. They do. This is it. I like it when I say things and it turns out to be right. Because I'm just making up most of the time. They are waiting with the hold here. They're expecting an admin push. They give themselves a bit of cover. They give themselves the ability to do exactly this. Watch the windows from safety. Force utility. It's going to force somebody up here onto copy window. It's going to force somebody to pinch elsewhere. Or it's going to force themselves to somewhere else.
Somewhere else is definitely what's happening now. Talon repositioning themselves after a minute of playtime, looking to potentially put some pressure down to the yellow stairs. BD looking to be rappelling up onto the console windows. The thing is, they need some more pressure though. They might have realized the fact that admin is basically uncontestable, considering the mirror window that has been placed there. It's hard to take that one out. You can do it from the rappel if it has been misplaced. You can shoot through the door frame, which is a trick that came through back in the day, but it's not really something many teams will probably remember in the actual moment, considering the fact that, well, what's the last time you saw that mirror window? I'm not even sure if they reinforced the copy wall side of things. Otherwise, you can just wallbang it, for example. There's no C4 on that mirror, so you don't have to be worrying about that. What you do, however, have to be worrying about is the shield next to the bomb chassis that Healthcare is playing. As PMW picks up the kill until Lycolis, that's the smoke gone. Very good start, but you now have to find Healthcare, who's stuck behind that bomb chassis.
I talked about BMW not quite having a specific effect, and let's open the round with the first kill. Roldini underneath could do a run out here onto the lobby door and might attempt it, but Healthcare is going to attempt to swing onto the double windows, and there's the swing underneath. That actually takes care of Roldini. They had the cover and the care to pay attention to the bodies beneath. But with the diffuser down on the floor, they've got to drop to collect and then pull themselves back up. But first, he's going to drop the body inside. Go and recollect. 2 versus 4, 30 seconds. Producer Boom looking to rotate potentially down into Taylor's and Visa and see if they can make their way back up the Visa stairs. They are reasserting and redetermining themselves and where they need to be. They seem that they want to go for this plant right behind the desk on the default push here, but they don't have the lockdown. As I said, Producer Boom have gone for his rotate, and that leaves just Hajime on the site himself, trying to battle back for as best as he can. But with the Bandit causing potential troubles underneath, it's just down to this spread. Comes his way back up lobby stairs and spiral and looks towards the opener there, but PMW gets one from behind. There's the trade back. There it is. The pick up on the window, and Talon keep themselves with a 2-gap buffer.
And we have it. The 2-gap buffer is established again. One more round away from potentially being safe to go to at least an overtime situation. 2 more rounds away from getting themselves out of a sticky situation, because I'm going to quickly scroll back up to see what I said before, and that is, of course, where we are with relegations, etc. Talon currently find themselves in the 7th place, and QConfirm into that 9th place, really shortly behind Fnatic. In that, if Firm lose this, they might lose the opportunity to strike either Talon or Fnatic, because both of them are within striking distance, within 100 points, both of them. Meaning that one positions above them and you're out of relegation. So for QConfirm, this is really bad. Whilst for Talon, they're going to be able to put themselves into an even better position. And Fnatic have the opportunity to avoid relegations by from Nora Ringo. There's more on the line here than just this win. We're talking about the consistency of staying for APAC North 2021. So just keep that in mind. That is the stakes of these next 4 rounds that we get to see. Or 3. I can't count. Today's rough. Oh, it's 4 rounds. Never mind. It is 4 rounds.
You okay?
Yes. Yeah, I'm okay. It's just,
okay.
yeah.
I'm just checking. Just checking. Making sure, you know. Being a good duo. Good friend. Now then, we have ourselves... Yeah, back on the top floor. Back on the lockdown here, and I guess let's see if they're going to be back on their play. PMW started to step up before and let us 3 kills in a single round. Wow, you talk about the man and he shows up. Maybe he's listening. Either way, he's definitely performing in that past round, and it's definitely led to some more success from the team. They did lose a couple of these kind of achy-breaky firefights. They happened on the heartstrings and heartlines of these windows, and now they're trying to, I guess, not play those as close to the punch. They want to try and pick someone off first, and Producer Boom is potentially one that's going to fall to the eye here. The flash goes out to try and get the ADS and stop it being caught, but with it being clashed behind the corner and the corridor, it might take a little bit more than the usual burn game.
Open game. PMW is ready from below, is potentially looking for the window to be... Surely you're not going to be blowing that up when you're standing underneath. I was going to say, surely you're not going to do it like that. This smart adaptation, though, going to be able to take down the shield, or at least will be missing it. Has to shoot a second impact. Not sure if the second one actually managed to get it. No, the shield is still up, and there's no more impacts left, so they will have to use... try about any of the players. Luckily, however, healthcare is gone out of that position. But that does mean they need to take some quick control of it, however. They need to make sure that no one else is going to be coming back inside, as the ADSs are being used to waste the ADS. come through. Shield will now be taken out with an S charge from below. A bit of damage being done to Producer Boom as well. But at least we'll open up this side. It will at least open it up a little bit, allowing for Talon to try and play around it.
Producer Boom has replaced all the shields in the room and is going to try and lock down and keep control. PMW is watching over the connector, making sure that nobody swings across, and that's where the first pick came from before. Hajime on the mirror roam, waiting at the bottom of Spiral and trying to creep his way steadily up towards yellow, potentially, to apply the pressure there, as little flickers of damage is done to the bodies on the window as Tomorrow and Labyrinth try and find their way in and against the Clash, who's just going to be zapping them so far. Now, we start to see a bit of a creep and a bit of an applause here as Healthcare and Tomorrow find a body, but there is the strike from the back, and there is a big bit of attention. BD putting the diffuser down. Producer Boom goes down too, and look at the flood of red in the top right corner, my word. Hajime, you struck well on the stairs, you struck a second drone, and you've been caught twice with 40 seconds left. You don't really have a huge lot, and no C4 either.
The questionable thing here, the Mirror choosing to go for these sensors rather than the C4 for a couple of rounds in a row right now. There's been so many opportunities where a C4 would have came in handy. I've not heard a single beeper go off. That leaves me a bit wondering. But it's BMW to pick up the final kill. That leaves us with a lead here for Talon that suddenly becomes a match point. And suddenly they have 3 of them as well. 3 opportunities to try and close out this matchup, elevate themselves out of the danger zone. And with that, well, basically go in with a little bit more of a rested heart into that final Playday.
Talon, they are looking good, and I think that's a good thing for them, a team that otherwise hasn't really been able to find consistency. They'll have these players that have pop-off moments and pop-off rounds, but they haven't been able to pop that onto the big old scoreboard in the sky and get themselves very precious points in the Swiss system. So far, this has seemed better from them. QConfirm, well, I guess they've kind of not had the best day, but it doesn't mean it's over for them yet. They've been able to string rounds together before. They've been able to learn and adapt to what is being put across them. However, unfortunately, as we've seen from a team that is quite stoic in their mentality and their methods, sometimes the madness is what unfortunately needs to break through. And a team that is quite stuck in their ways, quite built, can have a little bit of a struggle from time to time in readapting and reacquainting them with a little more chaos in and amongst their playstyle. It's something that, whether they desperately need it or not, trying to push themselves to push back against a team like Talon could lead to overstretching, over-rotating, and overcompensating. Or do you truly trust in the method enough where you can double it down and make a success story out of it?
Can they make a success story now, though? That is the question. Seeing the mirror coming out again. This time the C4 will be brought by Hajime. Might have realized that indeed the beepers, the sensors, weren't really doing anything. And thus choosing to go at C4, which is a bit of utility denial, or plan denial rather, and has an opportunity, of course, to kill. For example, let's say, I'm just checking, no one is breaching charges, my whole theory is messed up now. PMW tomorrow, you know, they're opening up from above with their impacts and breaching, and you're going to be able to answer with a C4 and maybe even get a kill. So that might be an opportunity to use that, or you're using it into the very last seconds when the plant will have to come. These openings high up in the wall right next to the mirror window. It allows you to, you know, basically throw a C4 through all the way behind the white van, potentially pick up a kill onto the planter like that. And if you manage to land that, in the last 10 seconds, the round win should be there.
Now then, as they creep their way over to the double breach, they're going to see if they can catch anybody. The Maestro Cam is zapping out drones as they get close, and obviously they're going to have problems with the Malusi on the black car, something I talked about before. It can add a lot of possibility. Now it's blown up. Now it's something where they can't quite get the control and the slowdown that they wanted, but still there's the possibility of, oh, the cameras, oh, there's also a mirror, oh, there's so many eyes and so many big guns that are keeping an attentive look towards whatever you're going to try and push and force through this double breach. And it seems like they're going to try and force everything. And well, the response from QConfirm is, okay, so are we. 5 versus 5, a flat firefight is steadily developing here on the trenches on the front of this garage. They are entirely stacked with the bodies trying to put the pressure onto yellow and swing in to get the intense pressure across the front. They want to clear themselves a window, but they don't quite have the coordination. Healthcare is the only one not currently looking over this active firefight right now.
Just holding the back, holding the flank, making sure that none of these Talon members are going to be able to sneak in from for example, end up to maybe take down Producer Boom as well. And it's a good shout in my opinion, because you never know going to be flooding through the garage. And well, it's better to have 4 people watching the garage and 1 the back than have, you know, 5 people watch the garage and then suddenly 1 or 2 members come from the back. You had no clue and you suddenly lose 3 members. But as I say that, Lacolas gets the first kill, BD will go down, Tomorrow goes down, and Producer Boom or Rodini on the other side as well. And the leases with the diffuser dropped on the ground with only 2 members of Talon left. BMW will be able to dodge the smoke, just barely though, as he ducks himself into really deeply underneath the scaffolding there. Needs to stay prone, otherwise he will take damage. And it doesn't speak, Hajime know who they are, but the diffuser is dropped. There's 1 member behind the white vent, there's 1 really close up, a pre-fire comes through, the diffuser has been picked up, and all that BMW now has to do is stay alive, has to stay up, gets the first kill, swings around, is going to be able to not get the kill to Lycolis as he stays alive, but it is going to be the next kill to come through, as Healthcare picks up a triple kill. We're shortly going to say Labyrinth might have the opportunity to potentially get a clutch out here. He will fail to do so. QConfirm, we're able to get the defuse in. 4-6 will be the score, and we're getting closer and closer to a potential overtime situation.
So a lot of that time was waiting and weighing and making sure they had an idea of where everybody else seemed to be. But if you were to put that all onto the board, 5 people trying to force themselves through generally a single-sided entrance, and generally a single entrance itself, it was always going to come down to the ones. And they believed that they could win their ones. And they believed that they could take the cake. And to be honest, they almost did. They got themselves into the 2 versus 2 situation. The difference maker is, as cited and seen at the very beginning of that, oh, Maestro Cams, oh, Smokes, oh, Mirror, OC4, yada yada, the list goes on. The defenders, they're built and entirely propagated and propped up to knock you back down as soon as you do that entrance. And that was the separation. That was the key. And that was what they just didn't have any of that baited or played or cooked out. It's tough to bait that kind of utility and tough to get a control on it. Whether you just flirt dangerously with the idea of yellow stairs and see if you can pull 1 or 2 of those canisters out before you go for the main push or not. Either way, if you're trying to face an entire force and you want to just gung-ho through it, unfortunately, it often leads to those kind of results.
QConfirm. 2 rounds away of pushing into OT. Talon will now be attacking that lobby. The lobby press room. It is a difficult side to hold as a defender. It might be even more difficult to take, because what do you have available to you? Like, if the defenders, they turtle in completely, they're not giving you any opportunity to go for picks. Suddenly you find yourself in a really hard situation as the attacker. And where do you go in from? Do you go in from the back, from yellow, from Z? Do you go from the front? Do you go from the front door? Just try and plant right behind the corner and hope that there's no utility in place like evil eyes, like smoke canisters, to try and take you out. Because there is still going to be players above. They're still going to have that verticality. There is so much you need to be worrying about. Like, you need to worry about the verticality, about these gadgets, and basically having only 1 or 2 ways in. That it suddenly becomes a very viable side if the defenders play it right.
Eyes on, and attentive focus is starting to be paid towards the holes that they've got themselves stacked in. As I said, they didn't quite weigh the balance before, the utility that was going to be popped against them, and it cost them. They do not want to make the same mistake again. 2 more chances to lock this out now. 2 more chances to have a bit of possibility. And tomorrow, well, you are trying to do something dangerous here. Under the hatch, there is a body on it, but didn't hear the call through the floor.
No, the thing is, they droned it out, so I would have been aware, like, they droned it, they saw something, you know, dark sitting inside that corner there. But they might have not noticed that the Coles is inside there, otherwise you just, please.
It would be so funny.
Just reach around it. Like, make him drop down, take him down as he goes.
Oh,
as Tomorrow actually gets down himself now. And that basically picks it all apart. And now you have it. Rodini picks up AD, who wanted to go for the plant. The diffuser is down inside the piano right now. The phones are going off, however. That gives him an opportunity to potentially respond. But Lycolis doesn't seem to have been droned out, as not a single gun is watching him yet at this moment in time. Labyrinth is watching the top. Surely will be moving in soon. There we have it. Will just walk in. They had no clue he was there. And it's all up to Soldier now in a 1v5 situation, because Tomorrow is DBNO'd on the other side of the map. And it's not going to get picked up. This is a QConfirm round for sure. There's no way that they give this away. We're going to round number 12 to find out if we're going to overtime or if Talon will win it.
Imagine if they droned that corner. Imagine if they'd caught that one possibility of an alcove. And imagine if they'd fed that intel to tomorrow beneath. It might not have completely dictated the round, sure, but it would have been a much better opener. Unfortunately, it's a flawless closer. Hajime swings out onto Soldier as he pulls the pin in a grenade that will effortlessly explode nowhere, unfortunately, and they had no idea that smoke was inside, and it's one of those two ships passing in the fog at night, having no idea that each other was there, but at the same time, one of them had an explosive launcher and could have blown the feet up of the other one. Dropped them down, would have been hilarious. Might have taken them the round.
Taking him around, indeed. You could have been taking him out from below, get an early kill like that, basically deny that smoke, and then you only have to worry about the potential evil eyes to be in place. But hey, we're going back to the top floor now. A site that Talon have been able to win multiple times. Question is, can they do it again? The Warden will be brought out just to deal with smokes and potential flashes if they want to use those for their push again. As we saw, that was their idea the last time around. Alba, however, able to find the headshot onto BD, who was trying to get that plan down. But hey, again, we find ourselves in a situation here where we could be going to overtime if QConfirm will nail this final round. They're setting up multiple shields as Producer Boom gets one into Projector. That's a very strong spot he's putting it into, because it gives you the opportunity to rotate behind the table and it allows you to rotate back behind the shield. And I'm not sure if Ash is going to be willing to use both those breaching rounds, one to take out the desk, one to take out the shield, because it leaves her without much utility left to deal with. Well, there's no Maestro Camps this time, but let's say Banshees that are still on the board, or mirror windows that you would maybe like to take down from below. Of course, the Pink 2.0 will help you in that, but it's not going to be definite. Anyway, I'm wondering to see if there's the same shield inside the actual console office again.
Well, that's it. There's the potential, but there's also the potential if you want to put pressure onto Projector. If we're doing old ways, hello PMW, you're already at the window. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you're doing old ways, it's this: you get in on admin, you clear your way around via copy, and then you throw Hibana pellets, or in this case, an ace charge, onto the back of that projector wall behind long desk. You might be able to pop just one off in that situation, but one is enough to completely render that situation, that point, so much structurally weaker. There goes the mirror window inside the printer, and there goes the explosion. Lycolis has had to pull themselves back, and now they're going to try and watch from, well, I was going to say afar, but they're actually going to try and retake their previously lost spoils and see if they can catch someone by surprise. But they're not being that adept. There's someone already in. There was a spray and a pray, but unfortunately none of it landed, and you have to pull your way back towards long desk.
Alright, Tomorrow right here, repelled up onto the spiral stairs. It's going to be hoping to open up the door. Will eventually finish to do so. We'll just put down a little bit of pressure. And often you're like, why would you waste your time to open up a door like that if you're not going to be playing it? Because he instantly went up the repel. But it's just to put down pressure and make sure that they're not going to be able to freely rotate. It'll think twice now before moving through, because there is the opportunity that someone is near the spiral or repelled up there. And right now, Talon are looking to well, find themselves a way in, because they have managed to win this site the last two times, but it is coming down to the last minute right now, and they barely have any, well, control from the inside. They have admin. It's a start. It's something that they haven't been able to secure yet before. As the Selmas now go off, it is a smoke canister that will be covering it, meaning that the detonations will come through and a rotation will be made.
Yeah, that's the default way of getting through there if you're playing on the default attacks, and Talon have strictly generally been doing that with their admin start here instead of the CEO take. Now then, it allows them to push up. They've got the clarity and the clearance to know that there is nobody there, but Hajime could strike ferociously if gone undetected. I don't know if he'll go for the Visa Stairs rotate, but even one on lobby could be destructive. Swings up and catches Tomorrow by surprise, and that's going to be a big moment and a big blow. There's a C4 from Lycolis, catches the diffuser planter too. Cold in the middle of the floor. Now, Healthcare gets one more, but look at the trade back from PMW, but look at only 15 seconds left on the clock. Everything is to play for in this final dying throw. Talon, they've lost the diffuser and seemingly lost where anybody is as Labyrinth just bounces back. Eyeline to eyeline, door to door, finds one, looks for the second, can't quite get it down. The pings are underneath, and at this point, well, it's Producer Doom taking us to the end. Producer Doom, I said there. That's a cool name.
That is maybe to call him next time when he pops off again and kills an entire team. We're going to call him Producer Doom to come through. But it is overtime, and that is the key point here. 6-6. It is still up in the air. These teams are fighting for survival. They're fighting to stay out of relegation, and it's coming down to these final 3 rounds.
And now we find ourselves in a situation where Talon are back on their defense as the start in on this. They're in a situation where obviously so far this has been generally, you know, one of those 4-2 kind of days. A 4-2 kind of day, and I guess we'll see if it can change. If anyone can break the mold and apply a little bit more pressure, because sometimes it's been a bit give and take. Sometimes we've seen teams have great success, and then suddenly it just seems on the next round they've forgotten the lessons that they'd taught themselves and demonstrated the previous round. It's a little bit hit and miss from both these teams, and sure, one of them's going to walk away with a little bit more under their belt, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it's looked relatively sharp compared to some of the other teams that they know they've got to compete against.
It is really coming down to these final seconds, these final rounds, and we see the same setup coming down from Talon. I really like actually what they're doing here, and it might not instantly stand out because look at that. They put down a Mew Jammer onto the hatch, but also onto those 2 walls to get with 2 ADSs. Now, you might be thinking why, but that is due to the fact that historically speaking, a lot of times X-Kairos or Selmas were deployed on that wall to basically open it up completely. And right now, you see where PMW is playing. You might, you know, there's an evil eye there. There might be a player sticking inside that corner as well, and you don't want to have that wall opened up in that case. You want to make sure it stays closed, because if it stays closed, you cannot give the attackers a line of sight from the rappel up on yellow. And then the ADSs are there to make sure that grenades are not going to be able to sail through to try and take down the Mew Jammer like that. So I really like it. It's pretty well thought through, and of course you're going to be denying the verticality as well, where an X-Kairos could be placed from below to potentially guide in an MRU, which is of course not being used right now, as Hajime goes for a very heroic rappel in into copy and loses his life in the process. Was there no drone?
I'm curious what quite happened there, because he went in full confidence and gun swinging towards obviously the vending machines, and then nothing actually came out from it, unfortunately. So you swing and you miss sometimes, and there's the drone at least, and there's some intel as to where the body's rotated. But at that point, when you got the opener against the Ash in that situation, when you've got yourself a little bit more control, and well, when you've got yourself, I guess, a surprise strike, because I don't know if they expected it, but the noise and the gun swinging the other way was definitely a bit of a help and a boon there. Healthcare's waiting for anybody that might be playing around the Visa Stairs side to see if anybody's coming up or down. Either way, Talon, they are quite an aggressive defensive team. They are mobile. Look at the 3 bodies that are so mobile underneath the site itself right now. They're looking to see if they can find the first breach and make sure that they keep themselves locked in vertically.
Okay, from below. Needs to find something to bring back the number count into more, or something more favored for the likes of QConfirm. There are men down, and he does exactly that. Finds Soldier from below. That is a C4 gone as well, as you take out Malusi, who's potentially waiting there to potentially take care of any player trying to plant inside the console office, as piano control allows you to do just that. But you're managing to find that kill. Right now, X-Kairos are coming down as well. The push is starting to accelerate as QConfirm realize there's an opportunity now. They're pushing through, they're opening up, and Tomorrow seems to be wanting to go for a flank. That might be the right call, considering how locked out they are of the actual projector room.
It's also the concern about that playing underneath, as Zafir done before, and well, there goes PMW. The Maestro's off the board, the cameras you hope are locked in a position, but either way, look at the spread and look at the pressure that QConfirm are putting on. They have swarmed through A to B, and they are looking to try and get the diffuser down. The first C4 could go off here and catch somebody. Labyrinth does get the diffuser planter. It's a 3 versus 1 with only a few seconds left. They're spraying and hoping they can catch somebody. They know that they've got to dig it in here. They can't quite get the beat and the read, so the shotgun's going to try and read it for them. They're missing. And if that was a foot further forward, it would have potentially been the round in their favor. But as the story is told, it is unfortunately put with a bit of punctuation on yellow stairs. QConfirm show some pace and aggression, and as you said, they saw an opportunity. And my word, did they take it.
They took it with both hands. It all started after Healthcare was able to pick up that 1 kill into Piano, bring it back to equal numbers. That gives them that boost of confidence where they can push through. And then suddenly they managed to swarm the side, completely outdo Talon. And right now they are a match point. They've turned it all around. It is up to them. It is up to QConfirm now. They're up on their defense. They're going down to Cafeteria Garage, a site that Talon was struggling with the last half. And this could be the end. Look at those scores. Producer Boom on 10. Rodini on 10. Healthcare on 15. The man they're all absolutely popping off right there in QConfirm. They're failing. They're refusing to go to the relegations yet. They're here to stay and they're here to survive.
One more round is all it takes. You're on your defense. We've structurally seen this be more supported by the stats today so far. And it's a cafe. Last time we were here, it was a bit of a heck of a lot of bloodshed, to be fair, across the front of the cars as Talon just tried to brute force their way through. The buck on the board gives the sole impression we're not going to see that again, and they're going to try and probably lock themselves in on Piano first. Push people slightly further away. Don't just dig your way in and hope that you can outgun them. And well, QConfirm, they've generally opted for a similar strategy. They have all the canisters, all the possibility, the 2 C4s too, and all the eyes and intel. And the only thing they don't really have is anything to electrify the wall. But to be honest, as I said very early on in the day, it's not holding the wall nowadays that matters. With the operators and the meta that we have, the wall falls. It falls. There's too many ways to get it open and too much utility that would otherwise cost. When you can use it slightly further back in the room, which a lot of teams generally seemingly prefer. They have more cover and control. That's what this is. That's what they're playing, and that's what they're going to try and double down with the successes before.
Windows being opened up, PMW up on the rappel. Talon are looking to put some early pressure onto that top floor because it is the start of their clear. They want to go for the top-down approach. Make sure you take down the people in Piano on your way down and try and get as many opportunities, as many advantages as you can possibly get, but they need to be quick about it. They cannot waste too much time because we know for a fact that all 5 members will be on that bottom floor. They will all be in the basement. One of them will be covering off the back, which is Healthcare, and the others will be playing near the actual site. And that gives us so much time that is being wasted right now by the hands of Talon because they're still all on that top floor. A minute 15 just passed, and now only they're starting to drone out the first floor, meaning that soon they'll get to be taking control of antechamber, of press room, and of the lobby. And then they still need to go downstairs. They still need to be taking care of the wall, and they need to open it up. And every second that passes is going to be making it more unlikely that they are going to be able to win this round. It's going to be making it more likely that QConfirm is the one to walk away victorious here.
Well, here's the opener that they're starting to try and make above with a minute over. That's a minute left. That's all that they've got to try and bring this into an over situation. The first Selma pops off. Doesn't quite get all the way down as the impact pops from Maestro instead. They're going to try and get the second here as well. Catch it on the inside of the door, and that's 2. Selma's 2 impacts done. And that's going to limit them to only 1 entrance rather than the 2 that they had before. But they're opening up angles of their own this time round, trying to find out where Maestro went and trying to stop him get anywhere further. The pressure starts to come down from yellow. They pop out the Banshee that is screaming on the door and screaming on the entrance here. Ash pops it. Now they have 30 seconds left, but they have a lot more utility control and a lot more of an idea of where everybody is, and they have way more clarity. BMW gets the first. Producer Boom goes down. And that is deep on the back of sight there. It allows them to free up that entire run down the white side if they need to. They have the cover. This is what the buck was brought for, and this is what he's able to do. Look how far back the QConfirm players have been pushed, corralled, and tunneled. They throw their canisters, and they don't quite catch anything apart from Hajime with the C4. PMW finds Lycolis. There's 2 bodies down at this moment in time. It's actually a smoke that finally ends the diffuser plant, though, with only 6 seconds left. They can't quite get their way around to the diffuser. Tomorrow goes for it, digs in, and just starts putting it down. It's going to be the Maestro that goes for the zaps. Can he do enough? What was the health on? The body block comes through. Unfortunately, Labyrinth was a bit too healthy for that kind of game. 40 seconds. We don't need any of it, PMW says, as the work is done on the backside of the site.
He almost managed to clutch it out right there by just hiding himself in the archives, digging himself into all the files, trying to find out if they could be winning the round on the back of it. And for a while it looked like it, because Talon, they were looking for that last member. They couldn't find it, but only at the last possible second were able to get that diffuser and start that plant again. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough time for the Maestro to take him out, to get that down. There was not enough damage done. And this is why it is so important to get people tagged up, because it makes these kind of situations more likely to be won by players like, well, Roldini, who'd then be playing with that Maestro in that closet in a 1v3. For 7-7 match point, Fuse is being brought out. The heavy guns are coming in for QConfirm. As, was it actually? It was QConfirm that played it when I was so disappointed by the fact that they brought it 5 rounds in a row on Consulate. They didn't get a single kill with it, with the cluster charge. They didn't even use one. And then, you know, he was still on top of the board. He was still managing to get so many kills with it. And then the moment they used it, he didn't get a single kill, got taken out instead. So we all know the secret of this one. Do not use your cluster charges. Just use that AK and hold the flanks, Producer Boom, because that is how this Fuse generally works.
7-7. We find ourselves going the full stretch, and I said it around the turn of the half. Feels like it's going to be one of those kind of days. Feels like it's going to be one of those kind of games. We can tell that both these teams have a lot that they still want to play for. QConfirm arguably have a little bit more, but they've got to do a little bit more to lock this down. The individual players are making their show up and making their show of it, and now is their final kind of crawl from a game and a day that was almost clutched away just then to one more whole round. Talon, you lost your defense last time round. Let's see if you can double down and make some success here.
Alright, last round, last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They are on the board right here. We see that Fuse coming in, and one cluster charge immediately deployed will be taking care of any utility potentially being on those yellow stairs. Everything but the actual ADS and the Banshee that have been deployed. So they will stay, not really finding the use out of that cluster charge yet, except for the fact that they might be a bit afraid now. As, well, healthcare. What more can he find? He's currently that top-rated fragger on the likes of QConfirm. Is he going to be able to make an opening happen yet again and create that way in that they can use like they did the last time around to surprise the defenses of Talon?
Now, and as they try their approach here, they're keeping a keen eye on the bodies that are making their way through and around underneath. Concerned about the lock-in and lock-down as they try and, I guess, get some fragments of control as to how they can dig in. QConfirm last time read the defense, read how they could take it, and, well, they took it. And they took it with a huge swing and swathe of aggression. So I guess the different story will be here from now on. Can they lock themselves in? They're keeping an eye and keeping an attentive bit of focus towards every single bit of the corridor of the route that they used last time. It was this window through connector and into the opposite site to get the plant down behind the main desk. They kind of just overwhelmed Projector. This time, well, they're still playing against that utility.
Playing against the utility, you still have that Fuse to worry about, but there's in the meantime only 1 minute left for Talon to hold on and for QConfirm to try and make this push happen. Like Colas is ready, he is on the balcony, the drones are coming in, the flashbangs and all the utility are being tossed in right now just to waste those magnets. Healthcare pops in one of those impacts as well to take care of some of the utility. Probably was one of those Banshees deployed just to make sure that the smoke is not having the same impact again, which is, oh, it's actually still there with 2 smoke canisters as it did the last time around, and they need to push now. 25 seconds, we're counting down, Fluke. Will they do it, or will they fail?
Well, the canisters popped out, and this was a costly affair last time round. You know that there's a Banshee not too far away, and they're just going to keep themselves away from it. Like Collis digs in for what he does best, gets the diffuser down, but Soldier does what he does too, and there's trades coming all the way down long desk. BD reads it a little bit too late, and there's like Collis pops up and pops out with a double. finds themselves with a body advantage and a man advantage, and that was a very, very important double and a very important missed second. Tomorrow is able to put one back. They're concerned about the long angle, concerned about the swing up the building, and he's able to dig his way through with 20 seconds. The cover isn't quite there. It is all down to Tomorrow. Doesn't have a handle on the man who was there before, doesn't have a handle on the window, and QConfirm have a handle on survival.
Producer Boom just swings in with the fuse right here, goes for the free fire, gets the kill, and gets the win. It's a hard-fought victory indeed. QConfirm able to pick it up. And that means they will have a bit of a better shot at making it out of those relegation spots they're currently finding themselves in here, because they will be overtaking Talon on the current leaderboard. I'm not sure what the point impact will be exactly, but surely it will not go unnoticed. And it will be coming back in the end after that last play day, but very well deserved. It was a very back and forth match in the end there. Suddenly everything just changed. Like nothing we knew was right anymore.
That's it. It ended with a bit of pace, a bit of passion, and well, it's one of those games where there was a lot on the line for these two teams. They've had mixed appearances and mixed seasons. The players generally all had an effect today, and unfortunately only one team can be the winner. Let's throw it over to the desk and hear what they have to say about it all.
Thanks so much, my king and queen. You're back with Gio and James on the